No, well, I mean, nothing we can do about that. All right, all right. Welcome, welcome. We are here with another episode of Candid Cleaning Conversations.
Yes, y'all.
This time we doing it live, y'all. We all the way live, and I have a very special guest. This is one of our students that we are very proud of.
Right.
Miss Iesha from Heaven Sent.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Long time. Now listen, this interview is well overdue. Okay, I
Yeah.
want you to know this interview right here is overdue, girl. All right. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and why you even wanted to start a cleaning business.
Okay. Well, for starters, my name is Iesha Williams. I am from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But I operate my business on the outskirts of Baton Rouge, which is Denham Springs.
Okay.
And I've been in the cleaning industry. It will be 16 years in November. Um, I didn't really um I guess you could say I started my cleaning business on accident. It was like I stumbled upon it.
Okay.
So there was a time period where I was going through a lot as a young woman, um, trying to find myself, trying to figure some things out. I was without a job. So I worked at McDonald's for like 4 years. And so my general manager at the time, people her name was Donna Miller, Larissa. So people would call me Little Donna because they said we acted just alike. And so, um, long story short, we ended up um, rekindling our friendship. So at the time, I wasn't working. She was a real estate agent, so she needed an assistant.
Okay.
So I went in to be her assistant, and so whenever she would have properties that needed to be cleaned or get ready staging, she would say, well, hey, you want to make a little extra money, why don't you clean these properties for me? I was like, okay, I mean, what could it hurt?
Mm-hmm.
So I came, I'm a backtrack just a little bit. My mom was very strict on keeping her house clean. And so every Saturday morning, everybody has this story. Every Saturday morning, Mama waking us up with the loud R&B or the loud Christian music,
Yep.
gospel music. All right, it's time to clean up. Let's clean up my house, And so, that always stuck with me. And you know, my sister and I shared a bedroom, and we share this story all the time. If you were to walk into our bedroom, you can tell which side was mine and which side was hers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and so, fast forward. I've always been a very clean and organized person. So, like I say, whenever Miss Donna needed these, properties cleaned, I just go in and clean them for extra money, not thinking about no business. I'm just trying to, make some money to take care of my child and my responsibilities. And so I did that with her for maybe a year or so. And she was like, you know what? You're really good at this. I'm like, good at what? At cleaning. And I was like, oh, okay. And so she was like, well, you really should think about starting your own cleaning company. And I just like bust out laughing, like, I don't know nothing about business. I don't know nothing about business. I don't know the first thing about starting a business. She was like, well, just think about it. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. So time went on, and she's the one that planted that seed. And I feel like I have to give all my thanks to her. She died in 2011 of breast cancer.
Mm.
And which is going to lead me more into the story.
Okay.
But yeah, I just always had a knack for cleaning and organizing. I mean, I'm not that good at cleaning and organizing my own house because I'm so busy with kids and work. But when I see something like I got to clean this, I got to organize this, it just I don't know what it is. It's just natural. So that's part of where my beginnings come from.
Wow,
That's
that's an amazing story. So, tell us, how did your transformation happen after she passed away? Like, how were you able to move forward after she passed? business.
Yeah. What made you want to start like
Yeah,
the
because
business, get the LLC and really get legal?
Okay. So I eventually found a full-time job because Miss Donna wasn't able to pay me because things had gotten slow, which I understood. So, but I wasn't her day-to-day assistant, but still, if she had those empty properties, she would still call me. So
right,
I had gotten a full-time job, and it just kept nagging me. Like, I don't know if it was God telling me to do this, but it was a voice that kept saying, you need to do this. You need to
Right.
do it. And I'm like, I'm not doing this because I don't know anything about it. So I just when it got to the point to where it became annoying. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do it because whatever I have to do it, because it keeps gnawing away at me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working at a dry cleaners, and one of the ladies that I worked with, I was telling her about what I was thinking about doing. And so she was trying to help me come up with names and stuff. And I was like, I don't like that name. I don't like that name. So the area that the dry cleaners was in a very prestigious area of Baton Rouge. They're
mm,
$1 million, multi-million-dollar homes.
mm,
And if anybody in Baton Rouge is familiar, they know exactly what cleaners I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
people would come in all the time. So one day we were working on a Saturday, and I was by myself for, a few hours, and the name Heaven Sent just popped up in my head. And I was like, that's it. That's the name. So moving forward, I came up with the name. I filed for my LLC, and I had some business cards printed out. Now at this time, I still don't know the first thing about business. I haven't researched anything. I know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I got this name, I got this LLC, and I know how to clean. So one of the young ladies at the cleaners I was working at, she
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, have you thought of anything? I was like, yeah, here are my business cards right here. So she snatched the business cards from me and was like, the next person that comes in here, I'm going to give them your card. And I was like, no, you can't do that. Like, I'm going to get fired. She was like, girl, be quiet. I'm handing these flyers out, these cards out.
Yeah, I
And
know
so
that's right.
lo and behold, that girl, and I owe it to her too. We're not friends anymore, but I owe it to her too because she did something that I wouldn't have done.
right.
She handed out the cards, and like the next couple days, someone called, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god,
Be in
what have
business now.
I? We in business." I so all I knew was, okay, I know if I want to clean this lady's house, I'm gonna have to go see it. I knew that much.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I went to see the house. Country Club of Louisiana. Anybody that lives in Baton Rouge know Country Club of Louisiana is a multi-million-dollar community.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just the name itself had me shook. So I called the lady, we spoke, we set up the walkthrough. I'm going through the neighborhood and I'm like, look at all these big old houses. Ain't no way in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there, we go in, she walks me around, she tells me about her previous cleaner. And again, I didn't know anything about pricing or what to charge her.
Right.
So I don't even remember what I charged her originally. So got the cleaning done. And of course, when I got done, I was like, dang, I feel like she owed me some more money. But I didn't say anything. I was just happy to get the job. And she was like, well, can you come every 2 weeks? And I was like, okay, yeah, yes, ma'am, every other Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
So like a day or two, now I was still at the cleaners, but the people that owned the cleaners didn't know I had started this business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that kind of got me into some trouble.
Mhm.
So anyway, she became a recurring client, but a couple days after after I did the first cleaning, she came to drop off some clothes and she was like, are you okay? I was like, yes, ma'am. She say, do you feel like you undercharged me? And I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like,
Oh,
okay, that's fine. I understand. I know it was a lot of house. I get it. And she wrote me a check and she say, will this take care of the rest? I said, yes, ma'am, that'll be fine. and
Mm.
we just went from there. And so she
Wow.
was pretty much my first client.
Wow. See,
Wow.
you had a good first client, baby,
Yeah.
because everybody ain't gonna be that generous.
Okay, wrote a check on the spot and was like, "Would this
She
take
wrote
care
it.
of the rest?"
No,
Will this take care of the shortage? And I was like, yes, ma'am, that's fine. And so we agreed
no.
upon this number for every 2 weeks, and that was it.
Yeah. See, the
Wow.
client knew that she
She
undercharged herself.
exactly because of
Yeah.
the service, the value that she received. She
Mm-hmm.
knew that
Mm.
she would have
Right.
to give you more. So that's crazy because
Okay.
And
everybody's first experience is not like that.
right.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to just suck it up and say, well, hell, I didn't know any better. So I didn't know. I thought what I charged was enough. And, once I got it done, I was like feeling like, dang, this ain't really much for all the work I did. And then she had these two big dogs. So they had a lot of dog hair and stuff. So
Right.
yeah. So um, she was very nice to do something like that, because most people, they don't care if you undercharge them or not. They hoping that you do undercharge them. So
Okay.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me where you're at now with your cleaning company. I know you just told us a story about how you began,
Mm-hmm.
and I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that are listening that haven't started their cleaning business. They
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to make their first six figures, and I know you
Yeah.
making six figures now. So tell us about the journey of like how you got to making six figures in your cleaning business.
That's a good
Oh
question.
wow. That's a good question. It's a loaded question because you all have been there. We've been in this community for a while. So y'all have kind of seen a lot of the ups and downs and trials, the schools, and y'all have seen and heard all of that.
Yeah.
Um I the only thing I could say is, regardless of how frustrated things get,
Hmm.
how annoying things get, how unhappy some people may be with your service, don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit, and it took me a while to get to the point. Well, if somebody is unhappy and I try to make it right and it's still not good enough for them, oh well, it's nothing that I can do.
Right.
I just, as fast as I lose them, not trying to sound cocky or anything, but as fast as I lose one, here go two more.
Hmm.
And so, like I say, it took me years to get that mentality. And my family could tell you, man, if somebody would like cancel, oh, my whole world has crumbled.
Crumble
But now
down.
I'm like, well, okay, next. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping, because there's nothing that I can do about it anyway.
Yeah.
And I used to think, well, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe no, it had nothing to do with me.
And see, the
Not
thing
Wow.
saying,
is, even if you did do something wrong, only thing you can do is do all you can do to make it right. And
Right.
right.
sometimes that ain't even enough. They still gonna get rid of you.
Yeah.
So we as business owners, we can't stay stuck there.
Yeah.
It sucks. We lost a lot of good contracts that just
Yeah.
really, how you lose that contract that touch you right here. You like,
Oh
damn.
man, look. Yeah. I was there,
Woo!
what, 2 years ago with that big school. Y'all know, man. Oh my gosh. I think I was in a depressive state for about 2 or 3 months, because I was like, man, I had the opportunity and I messed up. I didn't prepare for it. And, which I'm just going to take accountability for it. No, I wasn't well prepared for it. And,
Yeah.
it made me step back and say, okay, what are we learning here?
Hmm.
We know if we want to pick up commercial, we have to have it all planned out, especially when it's a commercial property or a commercial job that big. That
Yeah.
school was
Yes.
80 something thousand square feet.
And,
Mm.
and and explain to the people how you got that school.
Okay, okay. I was going to a client's house to go do an estimate, I think, to go do a walkthrough. And I
Mhm.
was looking, I noticed there was a school that was being built. They had cleared the land. They had a sign outside letting people see what the school was going to be. And I would pass by that school all the time. And all I could say was, dang, I wonder who is going to do the cleaning. That's all I would tell myself. So I looked up the school, looked up on Facebook, and I ended up sending whoever a message, letting them know I'm a local cleaning business in the area. Here's my card if you're looking for a company to keep the clean the school. Blah blah blah. They never reached out, which was fine. I think it was in April. So the next month I did the same thing. The next month I did the same thing. So one day I said, you know what? I'll go to that school before they open. I think it was in July. I went to the school and I sat in the parking lot for 5 minutes and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. So I just left. I just left. I couldn't do it.
Yep.
I was it once I saw how big the school was, I was like, man, I'm not finna do this. So I left. I left that day. And a couple weeks went by and I was like, I called. And so the lady picked up the phone. We talked. She said they did have a cleaning crew, but she didn't know if they were going to continue to be there, because they weren't doing A, B, C, and D. And I was like, okay. And she asked if I wanted to come and, walk around and see the school. Okay, great. So I went and we talked. She let me know what their budget was. And again, I had never done anything to that magnitude. So I didn't really know if the budget that they have would be worth, would be correct for the business to run it.
Right.
So I didn't know any better. I just took what they had, what the budget was, so to speak, and just ran with it. So, they told me to write up a proposal, email it to them, and she'll talk it over with the higher ups, and that's what they did. And then me, I kind of thought I was going to get it, but then at the same time, I was being realistic. Like, I'm probably not going to get it, but it's fine. I had already come to grips with, it may not be for me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when that lady called me like a month, maybe 2 to 3 weeks later, and she was like, when can y'all get started? I was like, oh my God, what in the hell have I done?
Done. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wasn't you
I
wasn't expecting
remember.
that.
I remember
Yeah.
that conversation. I remember when you were scared to go in there.
Right.
Yes. I
To
pulled in the people parking lot and pulled right back out. Nope.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So
Mm-mm.
one thing I definitely want to say, Aisha, because you have an extraordinary story, just from having perseverance, because a lot of people right now to this day, they are scared to just get started, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're procrastinating because they're having those thoughts. Well, what if I don't succeed? What if I don't do this? But you took a leap of faith and you just got started. So I heard you say that you started with residential, but then you just jumped to commercial. Like,
Hmm.
how did you find out what niche you were going to like steer into?
In the beginning, all I knew was residential. I
Okay.
didn't, really think about commercial until Miss Donna had put in a good word for me because they needed someone to clean the real estate office.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first commercial job, but I didn't look at it as commercial. I'm just looking at it as cleaning the office, and I had that contract for like 2 or 3 years, after she passed, I still had it. But yeah, that was my first commercial job. And I would get commercial jobs here and there, but I'm like, yeah, I think I just want to stick with, residential.
Okay.
Um, and I don't really know why. I guess because number one, I don't have to wait to get paid. That's number
There you go.
one.
There you go.
Most of the time, soon as you're done, your payment is sent, or hell, even sometimes they'll pay you before. It just depends on the client,
Yeah.
and I don't have a lot of horror stories with, residential clients not paying, when they're supposed to, but I feel like I always say, like, once I get my residential where I want it to be,
Mhm.
then I want to venture back off into commercial. I just want to put all of my ducks in residential for right now. And
Right.
then once we get this well-oiled machine going, then we can, focus on commercial.
Right.
Right.
I love you saying that, because that was actually a huge piece of information, because you're not just putting all your eggs into one basket. What you're doing is you're realizing, okay, I need to go ahead and get this together first before I
Mm-hmm.
venture out and do something else. And a lot of people in the beginning, they get that misunderstood. When
Mm-hmm.
Johnson sometimes may say, "Oh, try it all." It doesn't mean no, do everything at one time. It
Right,
means try
right,
one thing at a time to see which one that you're more comfortable with. So,
right, right.
with you saying that, okay, what difference do you see now versus then? Like, because now you have transformed to a whole different CEO. So, what difference do you see from now from back then that you like?
Um, that's a good question also. I'm a lot more um confident.
Okay.
Um, when I would go in and do these walkthroughs, I'd be like, well, maybe 250. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, look, the price is the price. It's $800.
Yes,
This is the
that's
price. The
right.
deposit is 50%. You take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no timid Aisha anymore. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not shy when it comes to letting people know, okay, this is the price, this is the deposit, blah, blah, blah. Back then I was, oh, well, is that too high for you? You want, no,
Mm-mm.
no. Then I just find that, you know, and I've learned, and just being in this business, people pay for what they want to pay for.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
buy Louis, they buy Gucci, they buy Mercedes, but everybody wants to, undercut the cleaners.
Right.
No, you're not gonna undercut us over here. So
Mm-mm.
I would definitely say my confidence. I also don't say yes to everything.
Ooh.
Good.
Um,
Mm.
that's another thing. I would take on look, if it was safe, I was gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found that you don't have to say yes to everybody, because you're not for everybody and everybody isn't for me. And
That's
so
Good.
right.
again, I always start, well, any job is better than no job. So I took whatever came, but now I'm very um discerning in what jobs I take and what jobs I don't take. So
Mm.
Awesome.
definitely confident and definitely saying no more than I'm saying yes.
Mm.
Awesome. 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 I love it. And I can see the growth in you throughout these years.
Yes.
Like we can
Yeah.
see the growth. Now the hardships aren't never gonna go away. They ain't
No.
never, it's actually gonna get worse as you go up to the top. It's gonna be
Hmm.
different levels of stress that you got to deal
Right.
with. And that's just what I want to tell any entrepreneur that's out there that's dealing with anything, any hardships in your business. It's normal. You're
Yeah.
gonna go through it. All right. You just gotta
And
fight
even
through it, you
and
know.
even just not business. You don't
Yeah.
have hardships. Look, my mama always said, as long as you living and breathing, you gonna have problems. You gonna have
Yes.
hardships. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship with your kids, your job, your man, your woman, your cat, your dog, whatever. It's going to always be problems and hardships in everything. Life is just not smooth sailing. It may
Exactly.
be smooth sailing for a little while, but don't don't think it's going to always be like that. And I tell my adult daughter that all the time, well, why is stuff always happening? I say, baby, as long as you're living and breathing, it's going to be something. You
Mm-hmm.
can't get
Exactly.
from around it. Even people with millions and billions of dollars have problems. They
You
may not
know,
have money problems, but they got
they got
problems.
some problems though. They
Okay.
got some other issues, right?
Exactly. Some other stuff you don't want to have.
Yup,
So,
Mhm.
exactly. Mm,
you be happy for the problems that you do have, and be grateful you don't have somebody else problems that could be 10 times worse.
exactly.
Mm.
So
Yep.
explain to us how you deal with your hardships whenever you're going through a hard time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're heavy in our community with mental health and entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe that if you don't work on self, you will not be able to do all the things that we teach you to do anyway.
Right.
Right. So what are some, like, help somebody out on this call that may be
Yeah.
going through it? What are some things that you do to get through those hard times in your business?
Okay. Um, I have faith, and my faith hasn't always been this strong. You have to grow through some things, not necessarily go, but grow,
Yeah.
and, I have some personal things going on now, but I still got to get up and work. I still got to take care of my kids. I still got to make sure, everybody eating,
Yeah.
so I can't sit in that,
Yeah.
because that's not going to get us anywhere.
Right.
So I have a lot of faith. I pray, and not everybody has this, but I have a very supportive family.
Mm.
I still have my mom, thank God. I have my sister. Like I say, my oldest daughter, my oldest child, she's 24. She hasn't been through much hardship, but she's there to help me, with her brothers, and so, and then just having a community, the community, the Tenacity Academy community, that's another thing. I don't want to get on Facebook and post about certain things with my business. So I come to my community and post it, because everybody in there understands that they're either going through it or they've gone through it.
Right.
So they can help navigate. Oh, well, dang, I remember I went through that. Let me tell her maybe she should try this or try that. Because I've done it to people before,
Yeah.
So just having faith that things are always going to work out, um having a support team around you, and also the community. I mean,
Mm.
all of that helps. All of it helps.
Awesome. I hope y'all paying attention on this call
Yeah,
here. I hope
I
you're paying
love that
attention.
because a lot of people don't have a community because they don't have that good support, whether
Mhm.
it be for family or friends, because
Mhm.
they can either uplift you or they can tear you apart, just with
Mhm.
everything, everything being said.
Yeah.
But with you
Mhm.
just touching on just community, can you just elaborate what it felt like before you didn't have that community and the importance of having a community? Because you just kind of like touched that on the surface, but it's way more bigger than what people understand, because that mental health, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you really don't understand until you go through it yourself. A lot of people
Mhm.
talk about it, they talk about it, they talk about it, but for real, put these people in your shoes for them to understand why is it very important to have a community and a good support system to help you out.
Oh man. There have been times where I've reached out to y'all, literally feeling like I'm about to jump off the bridge, because it's like, man, I can't, it's too much,
Yeah.
and your family is there, but nobody else in my family has their own business. So it's only so much they can relate to, or only so much they can tell you. So when you are in a community with like-minded individuals and people that are in the same industry that know the struggles, those people will literally talk you off the ledge.
Yep.
They will encourage you. They will pray for you. That's what, y'all put Bible verses in the group, in the community all the time.
Right.
And I find myself even going back, well, what is that verse they put, and reading it, for myself, just to give me a little bit of peace at that moment. So, again, it's family's great, you know, romantic relationships and partners are great, but that community that we share is huge.
Yeah.
These people understand that they go through the same things we go through every day.
Yeah.
If
Right.
they haven't, if they're not going through it, they've gone through it, or they will go through it, or they're coming out of it.
Yeah.
So it's just huge to join a community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what things would you say that you are learning through the community, within the community, that you use to this day within your business, that has brought you clients, whether it's
Hmm.
workers, whatever the case may be? What would be your biggest takeaway from the community?
Anything that you
Oh
learned throughout
gosh.
the lesson.
It's a lot. I mean, because y'all give us so much. Um, and I'm gonna just throw these out there, not in any particular order. Like I really slept on Craigslist. Number
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
one, I really slept on Craigslist, and when I won that Craigslist ad, I was like, man, where these people coming from? And
Mhm.
whenever they call, I would always get my assistant to ask, where did they find us? And
Yeah.
we must have got like three or four people from Craigslist, and I'm like, what? Craigslist? I don't hear nobody talking about Craigslist. So after that, now I post my ad every 30 days. It's on like clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing would be um hiring an assistant. Um, I hated having to carry around two phones all the time. And especially if I'm in the field working, I'm scrubbing and the phone ringing. I can't stop what I'm
Yeah.
doing to,
Oh,
man, look, if I
mm-hmm.
could just get you to answer the phone and, put the people in ZenMaid or whatever we using, that's good. And it may seem like a small thing, but you have no idea how much work it takes from me.
Yes.
That's one less thing that I have to deal with.
Yes.
Um, the third thing would be the Monday calls, the homework, the call, and I'm behind on homework, so we're not gonna go too far into that. But the Monday calls, everybody talks about what they did for over the weekend, blah blah blah. But then we get to work. This is the homework. We have until Friday to do it. Friday is the accountability call. We call or we post it within the week. So having the accountability is huge because I'm still feeling bad. I'm not finished my homework. So it makes me feel like, man, if I don't get this homework done, they're gonna be side eyeing me, looking at me crazy. I don't want to be the only one that didn't get it done, but it holds you accountable,
Yes.
Right.
so you won't fall off.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, like, just starting a business financially, it does create financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So, just from the beginning of where you were before you started your business,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
financially, how do you feel now? Just like, do you feel like, man, this was the best decision I could ever make?
Mm-hmm.
Versus before when you were like, I don't know if I should do this or not. Like, just financially, how do you feel right now to this day?
Well, it is still a learning process
Mm-hmm.
getting all of my financials in order, but
Mm-hmm.
we've definitely catapulted ugh, 10, 15 times over from the
Wow.
beginning,
Yeah.
and seeing a certain amount of money you get, okay, so this is what we're making.
Mhm.
And I know I can't go to a job and generate this kind of money.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? It's either gonna work or it's gonna work. Because
That's
there
right.
is
Okay.
no it is no plan B. So, I'm still figuring things out, but Miss Johnson has always taught me, you know, I gotta pay my people first. They're the
Exactly.
ones out doing the work.
Yep.
I have to make sure they're paid. And once they're paid, whatever's left, I pay myself. I'm
That's right.
not there yet, to where I know they say you should pay yourself first. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Um, but it also tells me, well, and this is not a brag statement or anything, but I feel like, well, hell, if I could generate six figures, I can damn sure generate seven.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
That
could
is
you
bragging.
you
Let's
couldn't
go.
have
Let's
told you
go.
couldn't have told me in 2009 that this would be a six-figure earning business.
Come
Yes.
on. Come on.
I would have told you you a lie. You a lie.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Come
Ain't
on
no
with
way.
it.
Exactly.
Ain't no way in the world I could do that.
Exactly.
Hmm. And
Exactly.
then it makes it so hard to go back and get a job.
Job.
Not
Right.
Oh my
not
gosh.
when you done
Look.
taste that. When you done taste six figures, then you
Yeah.
talking about go back to regular 16, $17 an hour.
No.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's
It's
hard.
hard. And I don't down nobody because
Yeah.
entrepreneurship
No
isn't for
knocking.
everybody and
Exactly.
having a job isn't for everybody. If you
Yep.
need to work a job, try work that job, love
Go
that
get it.
job, make your money on that job.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
Because
right.
because it's just not for everybody,
Right.
So, I tell myself, well, if you can make six, you can make multiple six, and you can make seven.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
So
right.
you couldn't have told me that years ago.
tell the people, Miss Iesha, this is not no instant gratification. Okay.
Girl, look.
Okay.
Nah,
Like
this ain't no
what
overnight.
Mm-mm.
tell
It
the
took.
people this is not a instant gratification. It is definitely delayed gratification. And
Mhm.
child,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely have to have faith during this process, and you have to
You
trust
have
the
to have
process.
faith. You got to be disciplined. You got to
Yes.
Yes.
have consistency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you don't work on yourself, like first, like
Yeah.
people don't
Yeah.
understand, if you don't develop these habits, you as the
Wait.
human that has to run the business,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
don't work on them habits first, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take all of your bad habits to your
Yep.
business, and
Mm-hmm.
That's
then
right.
that's why your business is stagnant
That's
because you
right.
Exactly.
take all the bad habits to the business.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
right.
man, I tell you. So, what is your means of getting clients right now? Because everybody want to know how to get to the money. What would be your means of getting your clients right now?
Okay.
You talked about the Craigslist, but what else could
Do
you
you
tell
do?
everybody?
Oh, definitely Google. And again, I owe this to you, Miss Johnson. You drilled it in my head to get those Google reviews.
That's
And it is so, so very important, because when we get people coming in, calling us, we always ask, well, how'd you find us? And it's Google. We searched cleaning services on Google, and you were one of the first ones that popped up. And we
Mm,
saw all of your reviews. So, sometimes it's like pulling teeth getting the reviews from the clients, but we get them. So I would have to say Google first, Instagram second, um, Facebook third, and probably word of mouth and Craigslist would be last.
awesome, awesome.
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right, so tell the people about some tools because I know everybody want to know about the tools that you use
Hmm.
to run your cleaning business. What type of bidding apps? What type of CRMs would you
Hmm.
suggest everybody go out there and get?
Right.
Okay, so I've used Square. Oh my God, I think I've been using Square since 2017. And
Oh,
I'm just so used to them. For some reason, I just can't pull away.
okay,
But about 2 years ago, I signed up for ZenMaid. And I
okay.
like ZenMaid. They
Shout
give
out to
you the
ZenMaid.
options. Yeah, they give you the option to set recurring appointments. You don't have to go in and manually set an appointment every week, as
Yeah,
you just put in the frequency and it'll
mm,
automatically generate it.
right.
And also, like, if I'm leaving out now, I can go to ZenMaid and text the client on my way. It'll let them put in how many minutes it's going to take me to get there. So we
Mhm.
won't have to call and say, hey, we're on our way, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We can just press the button, it'll send them a text, and that's just how it goes. And then I also use MailChimp for email marketing, for just to send out regular marketing emails to my recurring clients, and to like people that have inquired about services or even been
Hmm.
serviced before.
Right.
So ZenMaid and um MailChimp, definitely.
Mm.
ZenMaid and
MailChimp.
Mailchimp. That's right. That's right. That's what those are. I like those two. I like Mailchimp.
It's
Yeah.
Mailchimp
not
is the
so
bomb.
difficult.
And
Yeah.
you can't hate on ZenMaid, man. ZenMaid always gonna do the damn thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all right. So out of all the years that you've been in business, what would
Mm-hmm.
you say is like the hardest challenge that you had to face thus far?
Wow. The hardest, this is probably going to sound so cliche, but finding employees.
Mm, that's
That's a
not
good.
easy.
Finding,
That's actually a good one. That's a good one.
That's something that a lot of business owners facing right now.
right. And that's what I say. It probably sounds cliche, because that's every business's pain point right now is, employees. I have actually hired my sister as my assistant. So she lives in Houston, but she takes the calls and stuff. So she's good. And then I have another employee, Miss Pam. She's been with me, oh my gosh, 3 years, 4 years, I want to say. She's
That's
been
pretty
with me
good.
a while. And I say, man, if I could find a couple more of her, I'll be completely out of the field,
Yeah.
but it's just like I told you the other day, like I did an Indeed job posting and I had like 22 applicants. Out of that 22, I narrowed it down to 13. My
Okay.
assistant called those 13, and out of those 13, I narrowed it down to about four.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we'll just have to see what happens.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. So is
Okay.
that four people you're gonna put in the field and try out, or that four people that you're going to interview, or
I'm going to interview them. And so, with the experience that I've had in interviewing people, I
mm-hmm.
always feel like one or two are not going to show up. You
Yeah,
can schedule 4 interviews, but it's gonna be one or two that's not gonna show up. I'd be
exactly.
surprised if all four of them do, but I'm not betting on all four.
Yeah. So how are
So
you gonna do your interview process? Are y'all gonna meet at a coffee shop? Y'all gonna do it on Zoom?
I
How are you
think
gonna
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on Zoom, and it'll be a group interview
okay.
instead of setting up little, individuals and wasting my time. At least if I do it as a group, I'll know who shows up, who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are some of the things that you're gonna do on the actual interview process? Like, are you gonna have like a presentation set up for them? How are you gonna do the interview process with them?
I want to try to set up a presentation like tell them about the business, when we started, what we do,
Okay.
um, let them know that we do some nonprofit. We're partnering with a nonprofit, to let them know that this is what we do to give back.
Hmm.
Just to pretty much um give them information about the culture that we're trying to bring about the company.
Okay.
Good, good,
That's
good,
really
good.
good.
Okay,
That's really
all right, all right.
good.
Well, I know it's close to 8 o'clock, and I told you how long this interview was gonna be. I ain't gonna hold you. I know you got to get in the bed, but I thank you so much for coming on with
Yes,
the
ma'am.
telling your story, sharing your story. See, it
And
wasn't
you
it
did
wasn't that
good.
bad. It
You
wasn't
did
It
that
really
bad
wasn't
at
good.
bad. It
all.
wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all.
You ain't nervous, girl. You a natural. Okay.
Exactly. So before we tap on out, I need you to give everybody 3 words that come to mind when you
Hmm.
think about yourself as being a warrior, like where you're at right now, and just
Hmm.
let's just say someone is where you were at 5 years ago when you
Hmm.
didn't know, you didn't have a plan. Like, what 3 words would you have for them to get started and how to get started?
Okay. I would say consistency,
That's right.
um, God.
Mm, all right.
That actually should have been number one. God, consistency,
Mhm.
and confidence.
Woo!
That's
So give
right.
them a word,
Let's
Iesha. Give them
go.
a word and tell the people how they can find you.
So again, I am stationed or in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You can find me on Instagram at heaven_scent_cleaning. On Facebook, it's Heaven Sent Cleaning Service LLC. TikTok is Heaven Sent Cleaning _BR. I think that's it.
Okay.
I
All right,
think that's it.
all right,
All
girl.
right.
Well, I'm gonna let you go to get some rest, and I will see you in class tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Yes,
8 o'clock.
ma'am. I'll be there. Yes,
All
Right.
right.
ma'am.
You did good, girl.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
All right,
you.
girl. We're gonna post this in the community so everybody else can see too.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, all right. We'll
Okay.
see you
All
tomorrow,
right.
y'all.
Yes,
Have
All
a
right,
ma'am.
good
Thank
so talk
you.
about
Bye bye.
peace.
night.